will be marching to the grandstand, to the official tribune here this morning. I will definitely be taking you to show you the images, pictures of these military officers who are just getting some out today. 800 of them, ladies and
They're
gentlemen.
coming from the forest.
You can already see the marching majestically
Now the one
towards
zoom on
towards
that.
the grandstand here, where these thousands of family members, friends, are all gathered together.
No, I don't do that one before. I mean that banner, you know.
Watch this live official ceremony.
I want to do the way they come up for forest. I stop for zoom them.
Going into history, like you can see the U.S. Army, the U.S. Army Training Center, U.S. Army Fort Jackson. They are told on their slogan that we make Americans so. That is what they're going to be making out today. That is what they're going to be doing today. As this man of power has ordered
You did it
to
too. My gosh.
to what them before. They are already marching and coming towards the official tribune majestically just behind. They are banned. The ban is right ahead. It goes and shows that the past this grandstand. My name is Drew. This morning I definitely going to be giving you images of the march the official tribute. There are 800 of them. 800 of them, as I was told yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, in the next video, we will be bringing to you the images of these young, talented, and vibrant soldiers who are going to be sent out today. Fort Jackson Army Training Center here in South Carolina. Okay, at this juncture you can already see them marching just at that far end. Over there you can see the man beating the drums this morning. They're already getting themselves ready with marching, passing through that area of the platforms. They will definitely have to the official tribute to march past young military officers, 800 of them who are definitely going to be sent out marching majestically. Oh my God, what a number here this morning. Oh my. From what I see, it looks like they are just being all of the 200 that were told yesterday. So they can see them marching majestically. Look at them, look at them, look at them, this live video. Look at them, the van is so long right behind them. You can see them marching and coming. I'm sorry. They will have the opportunity to come march past in front of this official tribune to tell their people, to tell their families, to tell their friends that they came, they saw, and of course today they are conquering. That is a duty. That is what it is all about. To be a U.S. Army, it is definitely not a easy job. They have come, they have gone through all the training, and of course they emerged victorious. Today they are proud. Today they are coming out in their flying colors to tell the world, to tell the people out here that they came, they saw, and of course they are conquering today. As you can see, look at the line is still pretty long right behind. It is still pretty long right behind. You can see them marching and coming majestically. They won't have to come much past this official tribune. It tells you the ceremony is about to begin. That of course tells you the ceremony is about to begin. The band again, making a duty of what they know how to do best. You can see the band group. They are still at the U.S. Army Training Center here in Fort Jackson. You can see right there, ladies and gentlemen. Look at their slogan, "Make American Soldiers." Yes, they make American soldiers.
Graduation
This
uniform.
crowd have ordered to come out here to watch them, to watch them.
This is graduation day now. People are coming. Now them, I just say you kind of focus on one.
Parade that will be performed any moment from now. You can see
Partition. I know see that this is that day they became more,
you can see
they
them.
be more compressed.
You can see them in
They
their
say and today they
numbers.
don't precipitate them.
Ladies and gentlemen, 800 of them. These are the great people who are there to protect the American citizens. They are there to protect the territorial integrity of the people. They are here, ladies and gentlemen. They are there to protect the American citizens all over the world. Today, coming out in their flying colors. You can see them still marching. More still coming in there. Their numbers. Yesterday, we were here doing the first segment of the event. We were told by the school's administration that 800 of them were graduating today. 800 of them, these young men and women, will be going out of this institution today after spending over 10 months of training. They have been proven worthy of both character training.
So I get dry eye.
What have you that today
Yeah, I don't know what I do. They said things I get dry eye, so they give me dry eye
get
drop.
out of this vicinity?
So where I dry, they friction. I make sure they
Go
take
out there and face. Of course, they will confront challenges, but then these on the
where over dry no. It's the way they friction, whatever friction, whatever night.
to overcome
Whatever
those
just
challenges. It's not easy. It's definitely not going to be easy.
I said, what if you go my eyes if you take and do what that?
The band here at the U.S. Army Training Center here in Fort Jackson. I will interest you to know this is just one of the training centers in the United States of America. Over 5 of them. Five of these training centers, and this happens to be the largest of them all. The largest of them all. That's why they're going to be covering out 800 trainees who are definitely going to go out there and defend the territorial integrity of the American army. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you're watching. More of these will definitely be coming your way. More videos will be posted. As we I give to you minutes by minutes happenings here at the Fort Jackson Training Center. Today's Thursday, it is the 20th day of the month of November 2025. New trainees are about to be sent out by the administration of the U.S. Army Training Center here in Jackson. My name is Jude Chair. We'll definitely be able to give you minute-by-minute updates as to what is taking place out here. I'm not proud to be here this morning to watch the grandeur of this event. It is going to be a grandiose one. It is going to be a moment to capture plenty of cameras, phones, and what have you. Will definitely be capturing moments here this morning. Look at them there. Look at them. Well dressed, looking beautiful this morning. Oh my God. This is what we're talking about. This is what it is all about. This morning. We're going to be able to
Kasacom.
because of this very grandiose occasion. Any moment from now, the event will kick off. Everything being equal, authorities still putting things in place. Oh, you can see them marching and coming towards the official tribune here this morning. They are in about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns coming in, marching and coming up majestically towards the official tribune. How wonderful they look. How nice they look this morning. Oh my. Oh my. You can see that there. They are proven walking of good training character to be sent out today. I tell you, the authorities of the U.S. Army Training Center here at Fort Jackson are very much satisfied
I like the way they're
that they
coming.
are sending out
Blind by blind.
battery of personalities who will go out there and defend the internal and find out the external integrity
The
of
blue
the
flag,
American
right?
people. You can see the American flag flying up.
Oh, all the
It
flags in
tells
a blue.
you it is a moment which definitely going to be going into the annals of history. History is about to be made here this morning. You can see the soldiers looking beautiful this morning.
So I
Look at
can,
it there.
I can see if I can locate Cindy.
Look at it there. Look at it there. 800 Indian numbers, ladies and gentlemen. 800 Indian numbers will be sent out to them to go carry and face. Definitely, they will have challenges to face. But then we are told that they
They are very long yesterday.
and they can be trusted by the Americans.
Ladies and gentlemen, please silence all cell phones and other electronic devices for the duration of the ceremony. In consideration of those around you, we ask that you remain seated in the bleachers during
Say,
the
Acacia.
ceremony until all soldiers have passed through
I
a
see
unison
it is.
and the conclusion of the ceremony is
Yes,
announced.
Sindo, they are very long yesterday. See, 9 days, they are very long yesterday. Didn't they? Oh, sure. 9 days. Cindy, right? You know Cindy?
I don't see.
9 days, no.
That's the same place we begin.
9 days, no.
Yes. That's the same there.
In between these two black people.
That's the same place we begin.
That's Cindy right here. Cindy, that's it right here. It's in between those two black.
See.
The third one. Next to the neck.
I really don't begin the plenty. Those two black people, right? I think they used to be the same, ain't they? Don't warm when I say no noise, no here.
Yeah, the one performing.
A la izquierda. Ah, al frente del frente. Ok. Diga. Ay.
She's 4-4. 4-4 from this side.
Okay.
They 4-4. It is 4-4. It is 4 for me, Cindy. From this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's 4-4.
Yeah.
That's the rated picture.
And now 4.
Yeah, 4-4.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Deputy Commander of Fort Jackson, Colonel Chesley Thigpen, welcome to the United States Army Training Center at Fort Jackson for the retirement review of 2 soldiers and the graduation of companies Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, and Echo from the 3rd Battalion, 60th Infantry Regiment, 193rd Infantry Brigade. Please stand for the invocation given by Chaplain Jason Seaman.
Let us pray. Almighty God, thank you for this momentous occasion in which we have come together to recognize, honor, and celebrate the graduation of these soldiers from basic combat training. Thank you for the skills, knowledge, and strength they have gained through these past 10 weeks. As they continue their Army training and career, may you help them to remain teachable and eager to learn. May they have the personal courage to always do what's right, no matter the cost. May you grant these graduates and their families strength for the days ahead and grace to thrive even in the most difficult of circumstances. We recognize that this day would not be possible without the hard work and dedication of our drill sergeants and cadre who have provided these graduates with the highest quality of leadership and training possible. We are extremely grateful for their sacrifice as well as that of their families. May you richly bless these outstanding leaders and their families for the vital role they play in building the future of our Army. For our two retirees, Major Tyrone Norman and Sergeant First Class Shantae Jenkins, thank you for their years of honorable service and the legacy that they leave this new generation of soldiers. May you richly bless these retirees with a new sense of meaning and purpose in this new season of their life. Ask now that your divine presence and blessing would be upon the ceremony and upon all that are here today. It is for your glory and according to your will and purpose, I pray.
Please be seated. The purpose of today's ceremony is to recognize the commitment of the men and women you see here who have chosen to serve their country as soldiers. This review is the last official formation in the career of two lifelong soldiers at the end of the training cycle. Not everyone successfully completes this difficult period of training, but those in the formation today represent disciplined, motivated, physically fit soldiers who exemplify the Army's 7 core values: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. They are imbued with the warrior ethos and display the tenets of putting the mission first, never accepting defeat, never quitting, and never leaving behind a fallen comrade. This is an important day, and these soldiers can take great pride in their accomplishments. To the parents, families, and friends of these soldiers, Fort Jackson extends a very warm and sincere welcome. We are justifiably proud of them and are truly honored that they have chosen to join our ranks. Please direct your attention to the left of the formation. The units marching today from your left to your right are the 282nd Army Band, led by First Sergeant Sean Cupp, graduating soldiers from companies Alpha, Bravo, the Battalion Color Guard, and the graduating soldiers from companies Charlie, Delta, and Echo. Identified by their distinctive headgear are the drill sergeants. These dedicated, non-commissioned officers form the backbone of the Army Training Center system. Selected based on professional competence, leadership ability, and years of service, these men and women undergo intensive training to earn the right to wear their distinctive hat and insignia. With the drill sergeant hat goes the important responsibility of molding civilian men and women into soldiers. The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Major Marie R. Smith, who serves as the executive officer for the 3rd Battalion, 60th Infantry Regiment. She and the battalion staff were positioned on the field. The reviewing officer for today's graduation is the commander of the 3rd Battalion, 60th Infantry Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Scott J. Haar. On his left is Command Sergeant Major Johnio D. Cespedes, the battalion's senior non-commissioned officer, master trainer, and principal advisor to the commander. The commander of troops will now bring forward the colors and persons to be honored. Competence and commitment are the hallmarks of professionalism. These soldiers and drill sergeant coming forward will be recognized for their excellence in training and duty performance and serve as examples to all. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the national anthem. It is appropriate for all soldiers not in uniform and all armed forces veterans to salute the American flag. We ask that our civilian guests to please remove your headgear and place your right hand over your heart as our national anthem is being played. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness the retirement of two lifelong soldiers. All soldiers begin their journey by graduating from basic training. Over the years, there have been changes to how the Army conducts basic training. However, many things remain the same. It was during basic training that these soldiers were first introduced to the Army's values. It is where they learn the importance of teamwork and that the Army truly is a family. That sense of team and Army family is still embedded in what we do here today. Over 20 years ago, these soldiers took the same oath to defend this nation that your loved ones on the field have taken. We salute these great soldiers as they pass the torch of freedom along to the newest generation of soldiers, your loved ones standing on the field today. A certificate of appreciation from the President of the United States will be presented to today's retirees. It reads, I extend to you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation of our grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during critical times in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. I trust that in the coming years you will maintain an active interest in the armed forces and the purpose for which you served. Those who will follow in your footsteps will draw inspiration from your commitment, dedication, and sacrifices made to ensure the protection of our American freedoms. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. A certificate of retirement from the Chief of Staff, United States Army, is also presented to today's retirees and to the spouses for their dedicated service to our nation. It reads, on this occasion of the retirement of your spouse from active status with the United States Army, you have earned our grateful appreciation for your unselfish, faithful, and devoted service. Your unfailing support and understanding helped to make possible your spouse's lasting contribution to the nation. At this time, Colonel Thigpen and Command Sergeant Major Cespedes will now recognize our retirees for their service to the United States Army. Major Tyrone Norman, having served honorably for 25 years of service, is placed on the retirement list effective 01 February 2026. Major Norman entered active duty at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and will reside in Blythewood, South Carolina upon his retirement. His fondest professional achievement is receiving the General Douglas MacArthur Leadership Award and earning his Expert Soldier Badge, where he received a straight edge. The nation salutes Tyrone Norman, Major, United States Army, retired. Sergeant First Class Shantae Jenkins, having served honorably for 22 years of service, is placed on the retirement list effective 30 November 2025. Sergeant First Class Jenkins entered active duty service at Dallas, Texas, and will reside in the Republic of Korea upon her retirement. Her fondest professional achievement was serving as a drill sergeant with the critical responsibility of shaping the next generation of soldiers. During her tenure, she successfully led many training cycles, instilled discipline, resilience, and a strong sense of duty in over 500 recruits. This experience solidified her commitment to service and professional development. The nation salutes Shantae Jenkins, Sergeant First Class, United States Army, retired. Ladies and gentlemen, please join in a final round of applause for our retirees and their family. Although newly retired, they will always be a part of our Army family. The non-commissioned officers most responsible for the training of these soldiers are the drill sergeants, who are carefully selected by the Department of the Army. The drill sergeant campaign hat and badge have been a stoic symbol of this professionalism and pride since 1962. At this time, the drill sergeant of the cycle for the 3rd Battalion, 60th Infantry Regiment, Staff Sergeant Trayvon Nottage, will recite the drill sergeant creed. We ask that all drill sergeants, past and present, please stand for the reciting of the drill sergeant creed.
I'm a drill sergeant. I will assist each individual in their efforts to become a highly motivated, well-disciplined, physically and mentally fit soldier, capable of defeating any enemy of today's modern battlefield. I will instill pride in all I train, pride in self, in the Army, and in country. I will insist that each soldier meets and maintains the Army standard of military bearing and courtesy, consistent with the highest tradition of the U.S. Army. I will lead by example, never requiring a soldier to attempt any task I would not do myself. But first, last, and always, I am an American soldier, sworn to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. I am a drill sergeant. This will defend.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel Hart and Command Sergeant Major Cespedes will now present the awards.
Penny broken.
The outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle for the 3rd Battalion, 60th Infantry Regiment is Staff Sergeant Trayvon Nottage. The soldier leader of the cycle for Alpha Company is Private James DeLassy. The soldier of the cycle for Alpha Company is Private First Class Kayla Allen. The soldier leader of the cycle for Bravo Company is Private First Class Andrew Hogarth. The soldier of the cycle for Bravo Company is Private Ashley Pennington. The soldier leader of the cycle for Charlie Company is Private First Class Gavin Milkey. The soldier of the cycle for Charlie Company is Private Maxwell Pastry. The soldier leader of the cycle for Delta Company is Private First Class Defan Chang. The soldier of the cycle for Delta Company is Private First Class Lauren Harges. The soldier leader of the cycle for Echo Company is Private First Class Noah Brackman. The soldier of the cycle for Echo Company is Private First Class Kamile Torrance. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the commander of the 3rd Battalion, 60th Infantry Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Scott J. Hard.
All right, good morning. Good morning. Colonel Thigpen, Colonel Metters, distinguished guests, and most importantly, the friends and family of Team Riverator, welcome. And thank you for joining us as we recognize the accomplishments of Basic Combat Training Class 25-04. Now, before we go any further, I want to stop and say thank you to the 282nd Army Band on the field with us today. They look, but even more importantly, they sound great. So I invite you to join me in a round of applause. Thank you then for providing a terrific class for our ceremony here today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we begin here this morning, I invite you to cast your gaze out onto the field in front of you. And focus your gaze on that big sign in the back, the one that we can all see, that says, "We make American soldiers." And as the "we" implies, it is in fact a team effort to produce the finest quality of soldier that this nation demands. And you all are a big part of that team. You know, one of the best parts of my job is I get to go around and talk to your soldiers during their transformation from civilian into soldier. And I always ask them, why'd you join the Army? Why'd you decide to serve? And the answer I most often hear is family. To support my family, to better my family, to protect my family, to make my family proud. And so clearly you all are a big and decisive part of your soldiers' decision to serve this great nation. So I want to start by thanking you all for raising the sons, the daughters, and the loved ones with the personal attributes and inherent desire to serve our nation. The soldiers in the field today are first and foremost a reflection of your efforts raising them. And we thank you for trusting us with the most precious resources during their time at Fort Jackson.
His sons, daughters, loved ones.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, shift your gaze off of that sign in the back and onto the 804 new American soldiers standing proudly before you. Now, these new soldiers hail from all 50 states and over 25 countries from around the world, and they are a uniquely talented bunch. Standing on the field right now, we have 48 associate's degrees, we've got 48 bachelor's degrees, 16 master's degrees, and we even have 2 PhDs. And we've got 11 former world-class or professional athletes, including 1 former Olympic wrestler, and over 174 of these new soldiers have family members who have also served in the military, including 1 8th-generation soldier. We have 2 soldiers who are returning to the Army after a lengthy break in service, and to those soldiers we say welcome back. All right, and we've got 2 soldiers who are joining us, if you can believe this, from the U.S. Navy. And to those soldiers we say ahoy. What took you so long? No. We say welcome to the world's premier fighting force, the U.S. Army. And finally, we've got 70 newly minted American citizens who have the chance to be naturalized as part of the recent. Let's give all these soldiers a round of applause. Thank you. And I assure you, our nation and our future is in good hands with all the soldiers that you see in the road. They are our mission, and our mission is critical. Now, your soldier's journey began 10 weeks ago when they arrived at Fort Jackson back in September. The beginning part of their training was about discipline, fitness, confidence, becoming a soldier. They endured countless inspections and learned how to march and become part of a team, and how to challenge themselves to improve their mental and physical toughness. And later on, their training was about gaining trust in their military equipment as they wore their chemical protective masks in our gas chamber and learned to fire their weapon systems accurately at varying distances and under stress. They gained confidence in their equipment, their leaders, and again in themselves. And each endured a series of challenging yet critical Army tasks designed to test their adaptability and mettle. They improved their mental and physical toughness through daily physical fitness work and by marching great distances under heavy loads. And each of these tests of grit and determination taught them the importance of being a reliable teammate and the importance of taking care of each other. And for many on the field today, these last 10 weeks have represented the single greatest challenge of their lives. And 804 have met that challenge and now stand proudly before you. To the River Raiders on the field today, I want to say this: I'm honored to be your commander, and I'm inspired by your example of grit and determination. I'm inspired as I recall Private Maud from the Alpha Company Gators, who overcame every challenge that we threw at her and proved to herself that she can do hard things, warfighter things. And she inspired all of her fellow trainees, cadre, and even me personally in doing so. So incredible to watch. And I'm inspired as I recall Private Tate from Bravo Company, whose ardent desire to serve her nation has led her back into the Army after a lengthy break in service. She told me, "I have unfinished business in the U.S. Army." And after watching the maturity and wisdom that she brought to her fellow trainees throughout the cycle, I'm convinced that that's true. And I'm excited for what lies in front of this new and developing leader. And these are just 2 stories of grit and determination, and I'm convinced that there are 802 more just like it from all the soldiers on the field today. Their collective example of grit and determination proves to us all that our nation is in fact more lethal and ready to confront any challenge on the modern battlefield. Now, these soldiers now join the ranks of military professionals, both past and present. I want to take this opportunity to recognize all those who have and are currently serving our country. I'd ask that all veterans and those currently serving the military stand to be recognized. Please join me in a round of applause for these heroes. Thank you. And again, to the soldiers on the field today, you are now part of this sacred heritage, and you must do everything you can to honor and live up to this legacy. Now, the soldiers on the field today were led there by their amazing team of drill sergeants. This hand-selected group of elite professionals represents the absolute best that the Army has to offer in training soldiers. These drill sergeants work many long days and many long nights, sacrificing much, but doing so with a sense of pride and purpose to transform your soldier into someone who will one day uphold our legacy. I'd ask that you seek out these drill sergeants today as you see them today or this week, and offer them your heartfelt thanks for their efforts, for we truly cannot thank them enough. And now I want to address the River Raiders in the field one final time. River Raiders, you have met the call to service and sacrifice that many in our nation are unwilling or unable to make. Fewer than 1% of Americans volunteer for military service, which makes you part of an elite few willing to give their last full measure of service and devotion to this country. So take pride in the profession that you've joined. And while your victories may have started here at Fort Jackson, do not let them end here. Our nation needs you lethal, vigilant, and ready for any situation. And remain vigilant as you head out into the Army world to accomplish your missions. Each mission is critical to the success of our Army, our nation, and our way of life. And finally, again, to our extended Army and River Raider families here today, I say thank you for your support to your new soldiers. And I'd ask that you continue to support them, because they have become something different, something better than they once were. They are now part of the greatest Army in the world and will forever be a part of its legacy. River Raiders, no ground to give, and victory! Thank you.
Look like so?
You warm yourself up.
I know that's right. You didn't warm up. See, after the bucket.
It's a warrior.
Today's soldier is above all a warrior, adaptive, confident, and competent. As a soldier, you are totally committed to the warrior ethos, grounded in the Army values, and determined to destroy all enemies of the United States of America. The United States Army Soldiers' Creed embodies this commitment. To the soldiers on the field, the uniform you wear at this moment is more than an outward display of your vocational choice. Your uniform is a symbol of a nation and an unspoken assurance to all who see you that you are a willing and able protector of the freedoms fought so arduously for by all who have gone before and all those who have bravely come after. You have become what you set out to be, a soldier in the United States Army. The Soldier's Creed is your declaration of your unshakable commitment to the ideals this nation was founded upon and will continue to guarantee. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Private James DeLacy presents a certificate of appreciation to today's retirees and leads the soldiers standing before you through the reciting of the Soldier's Creed.
The Soldier's Creed!
That's it. So for you, whiskey for that girl, shout
I know, right?
That's it, the shout out.
In consideration of those around you, we ask that you please remain seated and in the bleachers until all soldiers have passed the reviewing stand and the conclusion of the ceremony is announced. As you are approached by the American flag, it is appropriate to rise and remain standing until it has passed to your right. Once the ceremony has concluded, family members of awardees may meet their soldier under the canopy located to the left of the bleachers. All other family members and friends, please meet your soldier on the field, once instructed by the narrator by the respective companies. The 3rd Battalion, 60th Infantry Regiment was constituted on May 1917 in a regular army as Charlie Company, 60th Infantry. It was organized June 1917 at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, during the outset of the First World War. In November 1917, the regiment participated in the campaigns of Saint-Mihiel, Alsace-Lorraine, and finally the war ending the campaign Mouzon-Argonne. The battalion fought with superb distinction throughout the Second World War, beginning with the Algeria French-Morocco invasion at Port Lierti as a part of Operation Torch in February 1943. The battalion was an integral part of pushing Field Marshal Rommel's African Corps to the Kasserine Pass. In France, the heroic days of June 1944, the battalion led the way for the division as it spearheaded the American advance out of the Utah beachhead that cut the Contamine Peninsula and secured the vital port of Cherbourg. For the battalion's actions at the pivotal crossing of the Duvet River, the battalion was awarded the Presidential Unit Citation following the final advance into the Central Europe. The battalion received another Presidential Citation for capturing the Schwalm Dam. The battalion was inactivated in November 1946 while in Ingolstadt, Germany. The battalion was selected to be one of the first units to return to the United States from Vietnam. On July 8, 1969, the unit was greeted by General William C. Westmoreland, a former commander of the 60th Infantry. On their return to Seattle, Washington, and on August 1, 1969, the unit was deactivated at Fort Riley, Kansas. The battalion was finally called back to active army on November 16, 2005, at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. The 360th still stands the spirit of the Go Devil Regiment and of the River Raiders Battalion into its hearts and minds of today's young fighting soldiers. Passing the reviewing stand is the Commander of Troops, Major Marie R. Smith, and the battalion staff. The 282nd Band is led by First Sergeant Sean Puck. The drum major is Staff Sergeant Cameron Chandler.
Apa Amerika?
Alpha Company is commanded by Captain Sight. First platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Tignor and is trained by Drill Sergeant Pace. Second platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Sauter and trained by Drill Sergeant Ramirez. Third platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Kieran by Drill Sergeant Spence. Fourth platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Irwin and trained by Drill Sergeant Bishop. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant Weinberg. Bravo Company is commanded by Captain Baker. First platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Flora and trained by Drill Sergeant Chesley. Second platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Brown and trained by Drill Sergeant Espinoza.
I said I go to the first group for D. The group 41.
Third platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Davis and trained by Drill Sergeant Forsyth.
Maybe the first group for D, no. It's a D flag. The one D flag should tell me.
Fourth platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Bennett and trained by Drill Sergeant Henderson. In the rear of the formation is First Sergeant Conrad. Charlie Company is played by Captain Alcides.
Why are we standing?
First platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant McCrane and trained by Drill Sergeant.
Now I don't see again. Now I don't see again.
Second platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Shoreline.
I don't see now again.
Third platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Knight and trained by Drill Sergeant Alvarado.
Nashram. Sit, so we can see. Sit. Please, sit down. Sit down, please, so we can see. Can you see? Tell me where the camera. I don't see. Come.
Delta Company is commanded by First Lieutenant
Now do this later.
First platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Cost and trained by Drill Sergeant Cost. Second platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Gordon and trained by Drill Sergeant Smith.
The third line. The line that comes on. Now the show will capture you. And
Third platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Mark and is trained by Drill Sergeant Bryson.
and the capture all man, but why it goes pass you see because they see all man with the pass. See, I know I make a word, they see all man with the pass. Afro-American!
In the rear formation is First Sergeant Dennis Harris. After a couple is followed by First Lieutenant
They go wrong again. Now this is the yes, no, not so.
Third platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Carlton and is trained by Drill Sergeant Cody. Fourth platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Gray and is trained by Drill Sergeant Allen.
This morning, you know.
And in the rear formation is First Sergeant Jacob Alexander.
the runner run. What went off? Why did she have to run? They want to run it. Up America! That's all right.
I'll open it later. I'll open it later.
So when did the one do this, before the other person go on?
You will run council to that place.
Yeah.
No, they go stop. There you go, turn now for the first line. There you go. Uy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Army song, and please remain in the bleachers until the conclusion of the ceremony is announced.
What? No. I want to see that. I've seen this now.
Yeah.
The captain at from all this way. Let me see how she's singing. My focus. I get my focus.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Family members or awardees, please move to the canopy to the left of the bleachers immediately. All the
Where we're going.